Close your eyes and imagine this, a city, sculpted not from brick and mortar, but carved directly out of vibrant sandstone cliffs, a place where ancient trade routes converged, a desert oasis thrumming with life and commerce, a jewel of human ingenuity hidden in plain sight. Now, imagine this magnificent metropolis, a testament to an advanced civilization, vanishing from the Western world's consciousness for centuries, becoming little more than a whisper, a legend whispered among local Bedouin tribes. This isn't just a story, it's an archaeological enigma, a breathtaking journey into a lost civilization that redefined what was possible in a harsh, unforgiving landscape. Right now, as you're listening to this, countless explorers and historians still marvel at its grandeur, its sheer audacious beauty. We're talking about Petra, the Rose City, a name that evokes both wonder and a profound sense of mystery. It's a place that greets you with an entrance like no other, a narrow, winding canyon known as the Sick, its towering walls closing in, casting long dramatic shadows. You journey deeper, the anticipation building with every step, and then, without warning, the canyon opens, revealing a sight that has stunned countless visitors for millennia, the Alcazne, or the Treasury, its intricate facade carved directly into the living rock face, glowing with an otherworldly luminescence under the desert sun. It's an architectural marvel that seems to defy logic, rising majestically, almost defiantly, from the earth itself. But Petra is so much more than just a single stunning monument. It's an entire city, a sprawling testament to the Nabateans, an ancient Arab people whose ingenuity, artistry, and strategic brilliance allowed them to thrive in one of the world's most inhospitable environments. Today, we're going on an epic adventure to uncover the secrets of Petra, to delve into the lives of the people who built it, and to understand how a civilization so advanced could seemingly vanish from the annals of history. First, let's set the scene. Petra is nestled in the mountainous desert of what is now southwestern Jordan, but its story began long before modern borders. For centuries, this region was a critical crossroads, a vital artery for trade routes stretching from the Arabian Peninsula to the Mediterranean, connecting ancient empires and cultures. The Nabateans, an Arabian nomadic tribe, shrewdly recognized the strategic importance of this location. Early on, they weren't builders of grand cities, but masters of the desert itself. They were camel herders, traders, and warriors, intimately familiar with the unforgiving landscape. Their early settlements were mobile, moving with the seasons and trade opportunities. But as their wealth grew, a desire for permanence, for a central hub, must have ignited. And what a hub they built! They didn't just stumble upon Petra, they chose it, meticulously carving their civilization out of a natural fortress. The Sick, that dramatic entrance we just mentioned, wasn't just a scenic path. It was a natural defensive choke point, easily defended against invaders. The surrounding mountains provided natural protection, and deep within those mountains, they discovered something truly invaluable: an abundance of water. This is crucial because, in a desert, water is life, success, and power. The Nabateans were hydrological geniuses. We're not talking about simply finding a spring. They engineered an elaborate system of dams, cisterns, channels, and ceramic pipes to collect, store, and distribute every precious drop of rainfall. They could capture flash floods, channel spring water, and ensure a constant supply for their population, their livestock, and even for irrigated agriculture, turning parts of the seemingly barren desert into fertile oases. This mastery of water management not only sustained their burgeoning city, but also became a key commodity they could control and sell to passing caravans, further enriching their coffers. Imagine being a weary trader, having crossed vast stretches of parched desert, and arriving in Petra to find not only shade and safety, but also abundant fresh water. It's easy to see why it became a preferred stop on the incense and spice routes. Their strategic location and advanced water systems laid the foundation, but it was their unparalleled artistic and architectural prowess that truly transformed Petra into the marvel we see today. The Nabateans were profoundly influenced by the cultures they traded with: Egyptian, Assyrian, Greek, Roman, and Persian. They didn't simply copy, they absorbed, adapted, and innovated, creating a unique syncretic style that is distinctly Nabatean. The most iconic structures, like the treasury and the monastery, are not built from the ground up, but are carefully carved or sculpted into the sandstone cliffs. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's also a practical choice. The soft sandstone was relatively easy to work with, allowing for intricate details, but it also meant the buildings were integral to the very landscape, offering structural stability and protection from the elements. The process of carving these colossal structures was an engineering feat in itself. Imagine their artisans and laborers perched on scaffolding from the top down, meticulously chiseling away stone, not just creating facades, but entire rooms, halls, and monumental entrances. They would start at the top, carving out relief details and architectural elements, and then work their way down, gradually revealing the finished structure. This top-down carving method meant that scaffolding could be built from the accumulating debris, and there was no need to lift heavy stones into place from the ground. It was an ingenious solution to a massive undertaking. The sheer scale and precision of this work, without modern tools or explosives, are mind-boggling. Let's delve deeper into some of these iconic structures, starting with the Alcazne, the treasury. While its popular name suggests it was a place for storing treasure, its true purpose was likely a royal tomb, perhaps for King Aretas IV, one of Petra's most successful rulers, or a temple. Its grandeur, intricate details, and strategic placement at the end of the Asik make it an awe-inspiring first impression. The facade is Hellenistic in style, with Corinthian columns, friezes, and sculptures of mythical figures like Amazons and the twin deities Castor and Pollux. You can see eagles, rosettes, and depictions of the goddess Isis Tyche, symbolizing prosperity and good fortune. The urn at the very top, which gives the structure its name, treasury, from local legends that pirates or pharaohs hid their gold there, is pockmarked with bullet holes from Bedouins hoping to dislodge the mythical treasure. Of course, no treasure was ever found there, but Petra doesn't end with the treasury. As you move further into the city, the sheer scale of Nabatean ambition becomes even clearer. The main path opens into a vast area, revealing hundreds of carved tombs, houses, a Roman-style theater, and the remnants of a bustling city. The Street of Facades, for instance, is lined with dozens of tomb facades, each one a testament to the wealth and status of its owners. Further still, you encounter the Roman theater, carved directly into the hillside, capable of seating thousands. This wasn't just for entertainment, it was a symbol of Roman influence and control after they eventually incorporated Petra into their empire. Beyond the theater, the landscape opens up even more dramatically. You'll find the main colonnaded street, a testament to Petra's urban planning, flanked by temples, public buildings, and markets, all leading towards the Great Temple. This temple, while in ruins, gives a sense of the monumental scale of Nabatean religious worship. It was more than just a place of prayer. It was a complex of courtyards, halls, and a massive altar. The sheer size suggests it was a central hub for religious and civic life. The Nabateans worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses, often syncretized with regional deities. Male deity, a mountain god, and Al-Uzza, an Arabian goddess of fertility and protection, were among the most prominent, represented by abstract blocks or stelae rather than anthropomorphic statues in their earlier worship. And then, if you have the stamina for the climb, there's Ad-Dir, the monastery. This monument is even larger than the treasury, perched high on a plateau, requiring a hike of over 800 steps carved directly into the rock. The journey itself is an experience, rewarding you with breathtaking panoramic views and a profound sense of accomplishment. When you finally arrive, the monastery reveals itself, a colossal facade carved with simpler, more robust architectural elements than the treasury, but equally awe-inspiring in its scale. It's believed to have been a temple for a goddess, perhaps Al-Uzza, or a monastic retreat, hence its name. The interior is a vast empty hall, suggesting its primary function was ceremonial rather than residential. The sense of isolation and grandeur here is unforgettable. But Petra wasn't just about grand monuments and tombs, it was a living, breathing city. Archaeological evidence points to residential areas, although most of these homes were freestanding structures that succumbed to earthquakes and the ravages of time. Unlike the rock-cut tombs and temples, they likely built homes from mud, brick, and timber, perishable materials that haven't survived. However, the remains of streets, altars, private dwellings, and sophisticated irrigation systems paint a vivid picture of daily life. The city was a melting pot of cultures, a vibrant economic hub where goods from across the ancient world changed hands. Spices from India, silk from China, myrrh and frankincense from Arabia, textiles from Egypt, and olive oil from the Mediterranean all passed through Petra, enriching its inhabitants and solidifying its place as a critical node in the global economy of the ancient world. The Nabateans developed their own unique alphabet derived from Aramaic, which can be seen in numerous inscriptions found throughout Petra and other Nabatean sites. These inscriptions provide invaluable insights into their language, their rulers, their gods, and aspects of their daily lives. They were also skilled craftsmen, producing fine pottery, exquisite metalwork, and intricate carvings that reflected their sophisticated artistic sensibilities. Their pottery, in particular, is distinctive for its thinness and elegant leaf patterns, often compared to porcelain. So, how did this incredibly successful civilization emerge and eventually decline? The Nabatean kingdom flourished for several centuries, from roughly the 4th century BCE to the 1st century CE. Their power peaked under kings like Aretas III and Aretas IV, who extended their influence far beyond Petra, commanding trade routes and even engaging in military campaigns against regional rivals. They managed to maintain their independence for a long time, deftly navigating the shifting sands of power in the ancient Near East, playing off larger empires like the Seleucids and the Ptolemies. However, no empire lasts forever, and even the most formidable civilizations eventually face challenges. The Nabateans' downfall wasn't sudden, but a gradual process. The ascendancy of the Roman Empire was a major factor. As Rome expanded eastward, it inevitably eyed the lucrative trade routes controlled by the Nabateans. The Romans initially formed alliances, then exerted increasing pressure. In 106 CE, Emperor Trajan formally annexed the Nabatean kingdom, transforming it into the Roman province of Arabia Petraea, with Petra as its capital. This annexation didn't immediately destroy Petra. For a time, it continued to thrive under Roman rule, enjoying a period of renewed prosperity. The Romans invested in infrastructure, building new roads and enhancing existing trade networks, which benefited Petra. Many Roman architectural elements were incorporated into the city, such as the elaborate colonnaded street and baths. However, the nature of Petra's trade began to change. Roman direct control of maritime routes in the Red Sea and the development of new land routes further north eventually bypassed Petra, gradually diminishing its strategic importance as a central trade hub. Another significant blow came in the form of a devastating earthquake in 363 CE, which shattered many of Petra's freestanding structures and severely damaged its water management system. While the city was still inhabited and rebuilt to some extent, it never fully recovered its former glory. Subsequent earthquakes and environmental degradation further exacerbated its decline. As the Roman Empire waned and the Byzantine Empire rose, Christianity gradually spread throughout the region. Several churches were built in Petra during this period, and some rock-cut tombs were repurposed as dwellings or religious sites. For a time, Petra served as an episcopal see, indicating it still held some importance. However, by the 7th century CE, with the rise of Islam and the shifting geopolitical landscape, Petra's prominence waned even further. Its remote location, once a strategic advantage, became a disadvantage as new trade patterns emerged. Over the centuries, Petra was gradually abandoned by its inhabitants, becoming a ghost city swallowed by the desert sands. It survived mostly as a settlement for local Bedouin tribes, who safeguarded its secrets and incorporated its legends into their oral traditions. For the Western world, it became a lost city, a mythical place rumored to exist somewhere in the Arabian deserts. It remained hidden from Western eyes for over 1,000 years until 1812, when a young Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, disguised as an Arab scholar named Sheikh Ibrahim ibn Abdallah, convinced his Bedouin guides to take him there. He had heard whispers of a magnificent lost city and was determined to find it. Feigning a desire to sacrifice a goat at the tomb of Aaron, which is located nearby, high above Petra, he was led through the Essek, and what he saw astonished him. He recorded his discovery in his journals, which were published posthumously, sparking renewed interest and expeditions to the site. Burckhardt's rediscovery marked the beginning of Petra's re-entry into the global consciousness. Early explorers and archaeologists faced significant challenges, including the remote location, the harsh desert environment, and the need to gain the trust of local tribes. But the allure of the Rose City was too strong to resist. Since its rediscovery, extensive archaeological work has been undertaken in Petra, uncovering more and more of its secrets. Modern techniques, including remote sensing and careful excavation, continue to reveal new structures, expand our understanding of the Nabatean civilization, and shed light on their complex social, economic, and religious practices. Petra was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985 and was famously voted one of the new 7 wonders of the world in 2007, solidifying its place as a global cultural treasure. Today, Petra attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors every year from all corners of the globe. Navigating the Psyche, marveling at the treasury, climbing to the monastery, and exploring the vast array of tombs and temples is an experience that transcends mere tourism. It's a journey back in time, a tangible connection to a civilization that, through sheer ingenuity and artistry, literally sculpted its legacy from the earth. But visiting Petra is more than just seeing ancient ruins. It's an immersion into a unique environment. The constantly shifting light plays across the sandstone cliffs, changing their color from honey to rose to deep ochre, making it a photographer's dream. The silence of the desert, broken only by the whispers of the wind or the distant call of a camel, adds to the profound sense of reverence and wonder. Local Bedouins, Descendants of the tribes who lived among these ruins for centuries still play a vital role in Petra's present, offering rides on donkeys and camels, selling local handicrafts, and sharing their stories. Their presence provides a living link to the site's enduring human history. Resilience. It shows us how a nomadic people, through strategic planning, technological innovation, especially in hydrology, artistic vision, and shrewd trade practices, could not only survive, but thrive in an incredibly challenging environment. It's a testament to their ability to synthesize diverse cultural influences into something uniquely their own. And it offers a cautionary tale about the impermanence of even the grandest empires, subject to geological forces, shifting economies, and the inexorable march of time. As you consider Petra, don't just see ruins, see the bustling markets. Hear the chatter of traders, the clinking of tools as artisans carved stone. Imagine the sound of water flowing through their ingenious channels, bringing life to the desert. Picture the procession of merchants, their camels laden with precious cargo, emerging from the Syke to behold a city unlike any other. Think of the Nabatean royals, seated in their grand tombs, their memory eternally protected by monumental facades. Petra was, and still is, a city of secrets, of whispers carried on the desert wind. Each carved facade, each ancient pathway, each discarded pottery shard holds a piece of its grand narrative. Its mystery isn't diminished by understanding its history, rather, it's deepened. The knowledge of how it was built, how it thrived, and how it was lost only amplifies our admiration for the people who meticulously crafted this wonder. It's a monument not just to a lost civilization, but to the enduring spirit of human ingenuity and our timeless quest to leave an indelible mark on the world. The Rose City remains a beacon of ancient splendor, beckoning us to explore, to learn, and to be inspired by the audacious dreams of a people who turned a harsh desert into a vibrant, unforgettable metropolis. It continues to stand, silent yet eloquent, a breathtaking dialogue between man and nature, a triumph etched in stone, forever inviting us to step into its hallowed, rose-hued embrace. It's a place that fundamentally redefines what a desert civilization can achieve, not merely surviving, but flourishing with unparalleled artistic and engineering brilliance. Before we conclude, let's reflect on the lasting legacy of the Nabateans beyond the visible grandeur of Petra. Their influence extended beyond the immediate vicinity, with other significant Nabatean sites found in Saudi Arabia, Hegra or Madain Saleh, and in the Negev Desert in Israel, Avdat, Shifta, Mamshit. These sites showcase similar architectural styles and water management techniques, illustrating the broad reach of their kingdom and cultural impact. The development of the Nabatean script also evolved into the modern Arabic alphabet, a truly monumental contribution to global culture and communication. This linguistic heritage, born in the desert, now connects hundreds of millions of people across the world. The Nabateans, often overshadowed by their more famous contemporaries like the Romans, Greeks, and Egyptians, were a civilization of astounding sophistication. Their ability to fuse practical engineering with profound artistic expression created a unique cultural identity that resonates to this day. They mastered not only the physical landscape, but also the complex geopolitical landscape of their era, becoming indispensable players in the ancient world's global economy. Their decline was not a failure of innovation or power, but rather an inevitable consequence of shifting geopolitical forces and natural disasters that are often beyond human control. What struck early archaeologists and still fascinates scholars today is the remarkable state of preservation of so much of Petra. Because the structures are carved directly into the rock face, they are less susceptible to erosion and decay than freestanding buildings. The dry desert climate further aids in preservation. This means that generations to come will still be able to gaze upon the intricate carvings of the treasury, walk the path to the monastery, and explore the ancient streets that once bustled with life. However, even these monumental structures face threats from natural erosion, pollution, and the sheer volume of tourist traffic. Ongoing preservation efforts are crucial to ensure that Petra remains intact for future generations to marvel at. This includes managing visitor access, stabilizing fragile rock formations, and protecting the site from environmental damage. The sheer audacity of the Nabateans is what truly sets them apart. To envision a city of such scale and beauty in such a remote and challenging location speaks volumes about their confidence, their resourcefulness, and their connection to their land. They didn't just adapt to the desert, they transformed it, bending its harsh realities to their will, creating an oasis of culture and commerce that stood as a vibrant testament to human achievement. Their story is a powerful counter-narrative to the common assumption that all great civilizations originated in fertile river valleys. Petra proves that ingenuity knows no geographical bounds, and that a determined people can forge prosperity and beauty even in the most unforgiving environments. Consider the human effort involved, the thousands of laborers, architects, and artisans who, over generations, wielded simple tools, chisels, and mallets to sculpt an entire city from solid rock. The meticulous planning required for each facade, ensuring structural integrity while achieving soaring aesthetics. The communal spirit that must have bound them together, working on projects that would outlive them by millennia. This isn't just about stone, it's about people, their aspirations, their beliefs, and their shared dedication to creating something truly extraordinary. As you visualize Petra, let the silence of the desert transport you. Feel the warmth of the sun on the ancient stones. Smell the faint scent of desert plants carried on the breeze. Imagine standing in the shadow of the treasury, feeling dwarfed by its scale, yet uplifted by its beauty. Or picture yourself at the top of the monastery, experiencing the vast, uninterrupted panorama of mountains and valleys, a landscape that has remained largely unchanged for millennia. Petra is not merely a collection of historical sites, it is an experience, a journey for the senses and the soul. It makes you ponder the ingenuity of our ancestors, their enduring spirit, and the cycles of rise and fall that characterize all civilizations. It stands as an eternal monument to the power of human will and artistic vision, forever etched into the heart of the desert, a beautiful, haunting, and utterly magnificent Rose City. And its story, though ancient, continues to inspire, to challenge, and to remind us of the boundless potential within us all to create wonders that defy time itself. Yet, the allure of Petra extends far beyond its breathtaking aesthetics and architectural prowess. It's a city steeped in a rich tapestry of history, trade, and even the subtle whispers of ancient spirituality that continue to resonate within its sandstone canyons. To truly appreciate Petra, we must delve deeper into the narrative of the Nabateans themselves, a people whose entrepreneurial spirit and remarkable adaptability allowed them to flourish where others would have faltered. Who were these Nabateans? They weren't an empire-conquering force like the Romans or the Persians. Instead, they were masters of commerce, shrewd negotiators, and engineers par excellence. Originating as nomadic Arab tribes, they slowly transitioned from pastoralism to controlling the lucrative incense trade routes that snaked across the Arabian Peninsula, connecting the exotic spices and perfumes of India and southern Arabia to the eager markets of the Mediterranean, Egypt, and Rome. Petra, strategically positioned at the crossroads of these vital trade arteries, became their bustling capital, a secure, well-watered oasis in a parched land. Imagine the vibrancy of Petra during its heyday. The Saiku, not just a dramatic entrance, but a living, breathing marketplace. Merchants from distant lands, Egyptians with papyrus and grain, Romans with wine and olive oil, Arabs with frankincense and myrrh, Indians with silks and spices would have congregated here, have been thick with the polyglot chatter of various languages, the aroma of exotic goods, and the clatter of camel hooves and donkey carts. This wasn't merely a city, it was a global nexus, a melting pot of cultures and commodities, all facilitated by the Nabateans. They didn't just passively collect tolls, they actively managed and protected these routes, offering security to caravans in exchange for a share of their profits. Their knowledge of the desert, its hidden springs, and its treacherous paths was unparalleled. This intimate understanding allowed them to monopolize trade, making vast fortunes that funded the construction of their magnificent city. Their wealth wasn't just stored, it was invested, poured back into the civic and religious structures that define Petra today. But their genius wasn't limited to trade. The Nabateans were pioneers in hydraulic engineering, a crucial skill for thriving in the desert. They developed an intricate system of dams, cisterns, and ceramic pipelines that collected, stored, and distributed every precious drop of rainwater. This sophisticated water management allowed them to sustain a large urban population, cultivate crops, and even maintain lush gardens in the midst of arid wilderness. This mastery of water, perhaps more than anything else, underpinned Petra's existence and prosperity. It was a testament to their foresight and their ability to innovate in the face of extreme environmental challenges. Their political structure, while not fully understood, appears to have been a monarchy, but one that likely incorporated elements of tribal consensus. They were pragmatic, adaptable, and remarkably skilled at navigating the complex geopolitical landscape of their time, maintaining good relations with powerful neighbors like the Romans for as long as possible, often through diplomacy and strategic alliances rather than outright military confrontation. It's this shrewd pragmatism, combined with their economic power, that allowed them to maintain their independence for centuries, even as formidable empires rose and fell around them. The artistic style of Petra, too, is a fascinating blend of influences. While undeniably unique, sculpted directly into the living rock face, it borrows elements from various cultures. One can observe Hellenistic features in the columns and pediments of the treasury and the monastery, reflecting the widespread influence of Greek architecture after Alexander the Great's conquests. Yet these are not mere copies. The Nabatean artisans infuse these classical elements with their own aesthetic, often creating more rounded, less rigid forms and incorporating distinct Nabatean motifs, such as the characteristic crow-step merlons found on many tombs. The use of living rock as their canvas presented both challenges and opportunities. Unlike freestanding buildings, carved architecture is intrinsically connected to its environment. This creates a powerful sense of integration, blurring the lines between nature and human creation. The natural striations and color variations of the sandstone become part of the design, giving each facade a unique, organic quality that could never be replicated with quarried blocks. It's a dialogue between human intention and natural material, a colossal sculpture that is both monumental and intimately connected to the earth. The function of many of these rock-cut structures also tells a story. While some, like the treasury and the monastery, are undeniably grand, often serving as royal tombs or temples, the city also features countless smaller rock-cut dwellings, storage spaces, and modest shrines. This indicates a fully functioning metropolis, not just a ceremonial center. The people of Petra lived, worked, worshipped, and died within these rock facades, their lives intrinsically woven into the very fabric of the mountains. The religious beliefs of the Nabateans are another intriguing aspect. While evidence is scarce, their pantheon seems to have been eclectic, incorporating pre-Islamic Arab deities alongside influences from Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Hellenistic cultures. Dushara, an aniconic deity often represented by cubic blocks of stone, beetles, appears to have been their chief god, presiding over an array of other gods and goddesses, including Al-Uzza, the goddess of fertility and war. The elaborate tomb facades, likely meant to ensure a prosperous afterlife for their occupants, suggest a strong belief in the continuation of the soul and the importance of ritual in appeasing the divine. The sacrificial altars and high places, like the one overlooking the city, further underscore the centrality of religious practice in their daily lives. The eventual decline of Petra is a complex narrative, not a sudden catastrophe. Several factors contributed to its gradual fading from prominence. The shift in trade routes, particularly the increasing reliance on sea-based commerce after the Roman consolidation of power in the region, lessened the need for overland caravan routes. The rise of Palmyrena in Syria as a competing trade hub also siphoned off business. Finally, in AD 106, the Roman Emperor Trajan formally annexed the Nabatean kingdom, renaming it Arabia Petraea and making Petra its provincial capital. While the Romans initially brought a period of stability and further investment in infrastructure, they paved roads, built a theater, and even added a triumphal arch. This annexation also signaled the end of Nabatean independence and self-governance. The city gradually lost its unique identity, becoming just another Roman provincial town. Earthquakes, particularly a devastating one in AD 363, severely damaged many structures and disrupted the city's vital water supply system, leading to a significant exodus of its inhabitants. By the Byzantine period, Petra had become a bishopric, but its population had dwindled, and its former glory was long gone. Over centuries, it eventually faded from Western memory, becoming a lost city known only to local Bedouin tribes until its rediscovery by Johann Ludwig Burckhardt in 1812. The story of Petra, therefore, is not just about survival in harsh conditions. It's about the remarkable ability of a people to adapt, innovate, and thrive, building a sophisticated civilization whose legacy continues to astound. It reminds us that human progress isn't a linear march, but a complex interplay of resourcefulness, cultural exchange, and environmental mastery. When you walk through Petra today, you are traversing centuries of history, witnessing the echoes of a vibrant past. The wind whispering through the sake seems to carry the murmurs of ancient merchants. The sunlight illuminating the golden facades at sunrise or sunset transforms the city into a mystical landscape, an almost otherworldly experience. The vastness of the site requires careful exploration, allowing for moments of quiet contemplation amidst the grandiosity. Consider the human scale of this extraordinary endeavor. Each chisel mark, each smooth surface, represents countless hours of painstaking labor. The precision with which they sculpted these massive edifices, often from the top down, hanging from ropes and scaffolding, is almost unimaginable. They worked without modern machinery, relying solely on their strength, skill, and an intricate understanding of stone. This wasn't merely construction, it was an act of profound devotion, a collective masterpiece etched into the earth itself. The lost city aspect only deepens its mystique. For centuries, its existence was a legend, whispered among desert tribes, its exact location shrouded in mystery. Burckhardt's discovery wasn't just an archaeological find. It was the reintroduction of a magnificent civilization to the world stage, prompting awe and inspiring countless adventurers, scholars, and artists. Even today, despite extensive excavation and research, Petra still holds secrets. Only a fraction of the city has been fully uncovered, leaving much to the imagination and to future generations of archaeologists. What else lies buried beneath the sands, waiting to be revealed? What further stories do these rocks have yet to tell? Petra challenges our perceptions of what's possible. It demonstrates that wealth isn't solely derived from fertile lands or abundant natural resources, but can be generated through ingenuity, strategic thinking, and the control of crucial networks. Flourish, creating beauty and complexity that rivals that of any other culture. It's a powerful reminder of nature's formidable power too. The very same processes of erosion that sculpted the dramatic canyons and formed the sandstone peaks also continue to slowly wear away at the rock-cut facades. Time, wind, and rain are inexorable forces. Yet paradoxically, it's this very impermanence that lends Petra some of its profound beauty and poignancy. The knowledge that these monuments, though grand, are ultimately subject to the elements, imbues them with a sense of precious vulnerability, urging us to appreciate their grandeur while it endures. The enduring legacy of the Nabateans is not just the physical remains of Petra, but the inspiration it provides. It speaks of human resilience in the face of adversity, of artistic expression that transcends cultural boundaries, and of an entrepreneurial spirit that built prosperity out of barren landscapes. It's a testament to the power of human collaboration and the enduring human desire to leave a mark, to create something of lasting significance. When you stand before the treasury or the monastery, it's easy to feel a connection to those who created them. You can almost feel their presence, their whispers on the wind. The sheer scale and intricate detail speak of profound belief, immense effort, and a vision that stretched across generations. It's an immersion into a past that feels both ancient and remarkably vivid, a place where history isn't just documented, but deeply felt. And for those who visit, Petra offers not just a historical tour, but a journey of self-discovery. The challenge of navigating its vastness, the quiet beauty of its secluded pathways, the sheer awe inspired by its monumental architecture, all contribute to an experience that transcends mere sightseeing. It pushes you to reflect on your own perceptions of beauty, ingenuity, and the transient nature of human endeavor. The way the light plays on the sandstone at different times of the day transforms the city. In the early morning, the soft golden hues bring out the warm reds and oranges of the rock, painting the facades with a gentle glow. As the sun climbs higher, the colors deepen, revealing the subtle variations in texture and shade. And at sunset, the rock ignites in a fiery display, creating a dramatic, almost theatrical backdrop for the ancient ruins. This constant interplay of light and shadow, of color and form, means that Petra is never seen the same way twice. It is a continuously evolving tableau of natural and human artistry. Consider the intricate details that often go unnoticed in the grand sweep of the monumental facades. The small altars carved into niches, the water channels that still faintly trace their paths along the cliff walls, the weathered inscriptions in the Nabatean language that offer glimpses into the lives and beliefs of the individuals who lived here. These small elements collectively paint a richer, more nuanced picture of Petra's past, reminding us that it was a living city, full of personal stories and daily routines. The very choice of location, deep within a labyrinthine network of canyons, also speaks volumes. It offered unparalleled natural defense, making it nearly impregnable to invaders. The narrow SIQ, easily defended by a small force, acted as a natural choke point, allowing the Nabateans to control access to their capital. This strategic brilliance, combined with their mastery of resource management, formed the bedrock of their long-standing independence and prosperity. They didn't just build a city, they built a fortress of commerce, a sanctuary in stone. Moreover, Petra's location was not just defensive, it was also spiritually significant. Many ancient cultures believed that mountains and high places were closer to the heavens, ideal for worship and veneration. The dramatic, monumental landscape of Petra would have undoubtedly played a role in shaping Nabatean cosmology and religious practices, imbuing their sacred sites with an additional layer of awe and reverence. The very act of carving temples and tombs into these sacred cliffs was an expression of profound piety and an attempt to merge the human realm with the divine. The scale of the Rose City is still not fully comprehended. While structures like the treasury and the monastery are iconic, they are but a fraction of the city's vastness. Archaeologists estimate that thousands of other structures, houses, workshops, markets, and additional tombs remain unexcavated, hidden beneath centuries of sand and debris. This suggests that the Petra we see today, magnificent as it is, represents only the tip of an enormous archaeological iceberg, a tantalizing glimpse into a far grander and more complex urban center. Even the experience of reaching Petra is part of its magic, the winding entry through the Sick. A narrow crack in the towering sandstone builds anticipation. The walls rise hundreds of feet on either side, sometimes almost touching overhead, creating a sense of being enveloped by the earth itself. Then, as you round the final bend, the treasury suddenly dramatically appears, perfectly framed by the canyon walls, bathed in light. A moment of sheer awe that rarely leaves visitors unmoved. It's a carefully orchestrated reveal, a natural gateway designed to impress and humble. This journey through the Sick wasn't just a physical path for the Nabateans, it was a psychological and spiritual transition. Emerging from the shadowed, claustrophobic canyon into the open expanse dominated by the sun-drenched treasury must have been a powerful, almost religious experience. It was a pilgrimage, a rite of passage, transforming the visitor from the outside world into the sacred heart of their capital. In a globalized world where many historical sites feel increasingly commodified, Petra retains a raw, authentic power. Its remoteness, the sheer physical effort required to explore its vastness, and the intimate scale of discovery as you wander through its ancient pathways all contribute to an experience that feels deeply personal and transformative. It's not just about observing history. It's about feeling it, breathing it in, and allowing it to transport you across millennia. The enduring mystery of how such a complex society, with its sophisticated urban planning and monumental architecture, could simply disappear from Western historical consciousness for so long, adds another layer of fascination. It serves as a stark reminder of how civilizations rise and fall, how even the most magnificent achievements can be swallowed by time and sand, only to be resurrected through the persistent curiosity of human beings. Petra also stands as a powerful symbol of cultural preservation, not just for Jordan, but for the entire world. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for its outstanding universal value. Protecting this treasure involves a delicate balance of promoting tourism, conducting ongoing archaeological research, and safeguarding the integrity of its fragile sandstone structures from environmental degradation and human impact. It's a continuous effort to ensure that future generations can also marvel at its beauty and learn from its profound lessons. The spirit of the Nabateans, their ingenuity, and their artistic vision continue to resonate across the centuries. They built a city not just of stone, but of dreams, aspirations, and an unwavering belief in their ability to shape their destiny. Petra is a dialogue between humanity and nature, a testament to what is possible when human will and creativity are applied to even the most formidable challenges. It's an invitation to pause, to reflect, and to be inspired by a civilization that dared to carve its legacy into the very heart of the desert, leaving behind a rose city that truly transcends time. Create enduring wonders in the face of daunting adversity. The narrative of Petra is one of audacious vision, meticulous execution, and the unwavering belief that even the most unforgiving landscape can be transformed into a vibrant center of human achievement and profound beauty. It challenges us to look beyond the obvious, to understand that ingenuity and resourcefulness can turn scarcity into abundance, and to recognize that the greatest monuments are often those that exist in harmonious conversation with their natural surroundings. The very air in Petra seems to hum with history, saturated with the quiet dignity of a people who carve their story not on fleeting papyrus, but into the bedrock of the earth itself. This isn't just about ancient ruins. It's about a conversation across millennia, a whispered exchange between those who built and those who now bear witness. The enduring marvel of Petra is that it speaks to a universal human experience, the drive to thrive, to create, to connect to something greater than oneself, and to leave behind a legacy that defies the relentless march of time. It remains unequivocally one of the world's most evocative and powerfully beautiful testaments to what humanity is capable of. It teaches us that true strength lies not in conquering the land, but in understanding and artfully adapting to its inherent character, transforming challenges into the very canvas for our greatest achievements. And as we wander through its ancient streets, past the awe-inspiring facades that glimmer in the changing light, we're not just observing archaeological remains. We are participating in a timeless dialogue. The silence that often falls upon visitors, broken only by the whispers of the wind or the distant call of a camel, is not an empty silence. It's a silence pregnant with meaning, echoing with the footsteps of traders, the murmur of ancient languages, and the tireless chiseling of forgotten artisans. Each carved detail, from the white, intricate floral motifs to the grand columns reaching skyward, tells a story of meticulous craftsmanship, boundless patience, and an artistic sensibility that rivaled the greatest empires of its time. Consider the Nabateans themselves, a people shrouded in some mystery, yet whose ingenuity shines through every facet of Petra. They were not just sculptors of stone, but masters of water. In a landscape notoriously arid, they engineered an intricate system of dams, cisterns, and ceramic pipelines that captured every precious drop of rainfall, channeling it to sustain a bustling metropolis of tens of thousands. This sophisticated hydraulic network was not merely about survival. It was the lifeblood of their prosperity, allowing their city to flourish as a verdant oasis and a vital hub on the ancient trade routes. It underpins the very existence of Petra, a testament to environmental adaptation that modern societies could still learn from. They didn't fight the desert, they befriended it, understanding its rhythms and making it work for them, turning scarcity into a source of enduring power and wealth. The very choice of location, nestled within the protective embrace of towering sandstone cliffs, speaks volumes about their strategic brilliance and their deep respect for the natural world. These colossal rock formations weren't merely backdrops, they were both fortress and raw material. This symbiosis between human endeavor and natural landscape is what sets Petra apart. It's not a city built on a site, it's a city born from it, an organic extension of the earth itself. The vibrant swirling hues of the sandstone, reds, yellows, browns, and even purples, are not just pretty colors. They are geological narratives, layers of time etched into the fabric of the land, which the Nabateans then brought to life with their vision. They understood that the most impactful creations are those that harmonize, rather than dominate, their surroundings. And what of the famed treasury, Al-Khazne? Its intricate facade, bathed in the early morning light, is often the first, most vivid image that comes to mind when one thinks of Petra. But it's more than just a magnificent edifice. It's a symbol of their artistic prowess and their cultural influences. The Hellenistic architectural elements, borrowed and reinterpreted, speak of their openness to external ideas, their ability to integrate foreign aesthetics into their own unique style. Yet, unmistakably Nabatean, it stands as a declaration of identity, a monument to a civilization that, while connected to the wider world, retained its distinct character, the mystery surrounding its true purpose. Whether a royal tomb, a temple, or indeed a treasury, only adds to its allure, inviting scholarly debate and inspiring the imaginations of countless visitors. Beyond the treasury, the ancient city unfolds into a breathtaking panorama of dwellings, tombs, temples, and an astonishing monastery, Ad-Dair, equally grand and awe-inspiring, requiring a lengthy climb, but rewarding the persistent with unparalleled views and a profound sense of accomplishment. Each new structure reveals another layer of Petra's story, from the high place of sacrifice, perched atop a mountain, offering panoramic views and a chilling insight into their religious practices, to the vast Roman theater, carved directly into the hillside, capable of seating thousands, indicating the city's thriving civic life and its later Roman influence. These different sections of Petra, the Sikh, the treasury, the street of facades, the royal tombs, the theater, the Qasr al-Bint temple, and Ad-Dair, are not disparate elements, but chapters in a comprehensive narrative. They paint a picture of a society that was complex, devout, commercially savvy, and deeply artistic. They demonstrate a capacity for monumental architecture that extended far beyond single showpieces, proving that Petra was a fully functional, self-sustaining city, not just a collection of impressive buildings. It was a place where people lived, loved, traded, worshipped, and dreamed, just like any other great city in history, but one uniquely integrated with its environment. The later decline of Petra, often attributed to shifts in trade routes, earthquakes, and eventually Roman annexation, doesn't diminish its glory. Instead, it adds another layer to its compelling narrative: the cyclical nature of empires, the inevitability of change, and the enduring power of what remains. For centuries, Petra lay hidden from the Western world, its existence preserved in whispers and legends, only to be rediscovered in the 19th century by Johann Ludwig Burckhardt. This period of oblivion, far from being a defeat, cemented its mythical status, transforming it from a forgotten city into a legend reborn. a treasure waiting to be unearthed by successive generations. Its continued existence today as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a wonder of the world is a testament to its intrinsic value, not just as an archaeological site, but as a source of universal inspiration. It compels us to confront our notions of permanence and reminds us that true artistry and engineering can transcend the ravages of time. Petra is a living museum, constantly revealing new secrets through ongoing archaeological work, deepening our understanding of this extraordinary civilization. Ultimately, Petra whispers to us across the millennia a story of human ambition, resilience, and ingenuity. It challenges us to reconsider our relationship with the natural world, urging us to find harmony rather than impose dominance. It's a powerful reminder that the greatest achievements are often born from understanding and adapting to our environment, sculpting our dreams into its very fabric. The Rose City is more than just a spectacle. It is a profound lesson in endurance, creativity, and the timeless beauty that emerges when humanity and nature enter into a grand, collaborative dance. Its silent, majestic presence speaks volumes about the enduring spirit of human endeavor, forever etched into the heart of the Jordanian desert, waiting for each new visitor to listen to its ancient, compelling tales.